Welcome back to Miami Dolphins Syndicate. Jacob here, and this is going to be a fun one. So let me make sure I have my notes here for me. This is going to be a fun one. I want to start this off by just please asking you guys just to hear me out. No matter what side you are on, whether you are pro Tua, whether you're anti Tua, wherever you fall on the spectrum, please just hear me out for what I have to say. So Miami Dolphins, of course, falling yesterday to Green Bay 26-20 Christmas Day. I was there. First half was fun. First half was electric. There was a lot of Packers fans, but it didn't feel like they had an effect on the game as much as opposing fans sometimes do at Hard Rock Stadium, just because our fans don't show up and they sell it. They get the season tickets and they sell it to opposing fans. So sometimes we'll have over half the stadium of either Bills fans, of Cowboys fans, of Patriots fans, so on and so forth. There is a loud presence of opposing team fans at Hard Rock Stadium. It's pretty annoying. I will say it's pretty annoying, but hey, that's their choice to sell the tickets, whatever. But yeah, it was cold. It was uncomfortable in terms of that. But the first half, you didn't mind the cold. Now I say cold, it was in the high 40s. So if you're watching from somewhere else in the country, we're in South Florida. That's freezing to us. All right, I'm sitting here in a hoodie and sweatpants. It's like 50 degrees outside. I'm struggling here. But yeah, it was a good game in the first half, and then the second half was what the second half was. Zero points, 3 interceptions by Tua, and we lose 26-20. And I'm sorry, I can't come away from that game with anything, and not just that game, the last 4 games against good teams, against good quarterbacks. I can't come away with anything other than the fact that I don't think Tua is the guy for the Dolphins. Now, let me argue the pros for Tua. You can win games with Tua. Tua is not a bad quarterback. He is probably a top 15 quarterback in this league. When everything's going great, he's great. He still had over 300 yards. 85 of that was the fact that Jalen Waddle was very good at football and very good at playing wide receiver and took a 10-yard in and took it to the house. He is still a good quarterback. He can hit throws. When everything's drawn up great, he's a great facilitator. When he doesn't have pressure in his face, when he's playing against a lesser secondary, he does well. He did well on our 5-game winning streak, except for the first game back against the Steelers. Those 4 games against the Lions, against the Bears, against the Browns, against the Texans in the first half before he came out, he looks good. He was a serviceable quarterback. He was winning us games, and we are still at a point that I like to think we're more likely than not to make it into the playoffs. We still control our own destiny. We control our own destiny. We have controlled our own destiny for 2 years, now 3 years in a row now. And those 2 seasons, we fell short. First season, that game against Buffalo, where we just got totally picked apart. Tua wasn't at fault, but Tua didn't look good. And we got totally picked apart. I mean, it was a class. It was a proper college lecture on how to defeat a team. And last year against Tennessee, Tua played bad. Except for that throw to Jalen Waddle, Tua played bad. And the defense couldn't really stop him on the other side. Tua played bad. Now it's up to Tua to figure out the rest. But no matter what happens, no matter if we go on and make it into the playoffs, maybe we win a game. Maybe probably not. Because we're probably going to come against the Chiefs, the Bills, the Bengals, one of those 3. Probably not going to win a playoff game. Even so, there are just such clear limitations to Tua that can't be ignored. We're fans. We're not his family. It'd be one thing if you were his dad, if you were Talia, if you were his mom, if you're now his wife. Yeah, it's one thing if you're one of those people and you want to defend Tua to your grave. I get it. But we're Dolphins fans. We are fans of the football team first. And when somebody's not playing good enough, I'm going to call him out. Xavier Howard most of the season has been playing good enough. Had a decent game yesterday, but X hasn't been playing good enough. The defense as a whole hasn't been playing good enough, even though it's been what's carrying us these past few years. Has been the defense, and this year the defense has not stepped up and done its part. Tua's not getting it done, and I don't think he has the ability to be the quarterback that we need him to be. Look at the AFC. Look at who's in the playoffs as things stand right now in the AFC. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert. All 6 of those guys are literally and figuratively head and shoulders above Tua. They are all taller than Tua. They all have better arms than Tua. They're all more athletic than Tua. There's things that he can train all he wants. He could probably get a little bit better arm strength. He could probably work on that and actually make him better than what he is today. He probably could work out, do some strength training, do some drills where he's throwing more than 20 yards down the field. And that's not even an insult. That's just what it is. That's where we live mostly, is around 20 yards down the field. There are probably drills he can do to slightly increase his arm strength. He can't get taller. He can't get stronger relatively. He's not, no matter what he's doing, he's not going to be able to throw off linebackers on a blitz. He's not going to be able to, like Justin Herbert, just make one cut one way and roll out the other and chuck the ball 65 yards over the top. No matter how strong his arm becomes, he's not going to be able to do that. And those limitations come up when we're in a situation where we're playing against a better quarterback. So on the other side, he's doing his job to win the game, and now we're losing. And now we need somebody to make a play. The running game, I don't even need to bring it up. We know the running game sucks. It was great against Buffalo. It was good against great against the Browns. It sucked all year. We know what that is. He's not getting any help in the run game. So he's going to have to go out and make a play. Josh Allen hasn't had a running game the entirety of his career. Justin Herbert has basically a slot receiver playing running back. There's plenty of guys who are doing without a running game. Joe Mixon for the Bengals, outside of that monstrous game against the Panthers, it's relatively uneventful this year. A lot of quarterbacks are getting it done without running backs, excuse me. Tua doesn't have the ability to just go out and carry a team and make a play happen. He doesn't. You're not going to see him scramble for a 30-yard touchdown. You're not going to see him throw off defenders, make a few guys miss. Yeah, he's had some good cuts where he's running one way, cuts the other. Okay, congratulations. I could probably get somebody on a cut if I timed it right. I've never played organized football in my life. I'm 6'6". I'll give myself a little credit. I'm semi-athletic. I could probably go out there and do that. He's just got some things that you cannot work on. No matter what you train, no matter what you do, there are some things that are just not going to be you're not going to see from Tua Tagovailoa. And that concerns me, because that automatically puts a ceiling on both him and the team. Maybe in a perfect storm, we can win a Super Bowl with Tua. In a perfect storm. Drew Brees won a Super Bowl. Drew Brees also fell short a lot. Everyone loves to compare him to Drew Brees. That's what we think Tua is going to be. We think Tua is going to be Drew Brees. Drew Brees won one Super Bowl. It fell short time and time and time again. And once he got to the end of his career, once the shoulder started to go, Drew Brees had nothing left to offer. He had great offensive personnel throughout his career. He typically had a good defense. Now there was a 5-year span where the Saints had the worst defense in the league. But then towards the back end, again, towards the end of his career, that defense started to step up again. Cam Jordan, Trey Hendrickson. If everything comes perfect and we win a Super Bowl, okay, cool, that'd be great. It's not happening this year. We're certainly not winning a Super Bowl this year. We are closer to missing the playoffs than we are to winning a Super Bowl. We've been in this scenario 2 years in a row where we've had our own destiny and we can win out. And both times the team let down, both times Tua let down. I think Tom Brady is semi-realistic in the offseason. It really was sting and definitely affect my pride as a Dolphins fan. Now, the past, when Tom Brady was thrown up in talk before, I'd be like, you know what, that was the greatest quarterback of all time, but I want to see what happens with Tua. Tom Brady not only would be bringing in the best quarterback in NFL history, who just did it for our rival, who won our division rival 6 Super Bowls, who cost us a first-round pick by tampering to go out and get him, led to us firing Brian Flores, part of a few things that led to us firing Brian Flores. And then now we've watched Tua, who I said I wanted to give more time to and see how he plays. We be then giving up on Tua for him. So that would sting. Really have to swallow the pride on that one. But winning's important. It's a results business. And Tua's just not getting it done. I went on live yesterday, and I didn't plan on going on live. I meant to say this earlier. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. I hope everybody had a great Christmas. I had just gotten home. I had just showered. I threw on a different hoodie than this, and looks pretty much exactly the same as I look right now. Just dead to the world. And I just wanted to filter out frustration because I sat on the car ride home with my wonderful girlfriend and my mom, and they were talking about just whatever, and I was just driving straight, eyes straight. Somebody cut me off. I wanted to kill them. 2 people cut me off. I wanted to kill both of them. And I was just so miserable because I had so much hope. We still made the playoffs. We still probably will make the playoffs. If we don't make the playoffs, oh boy, that's gonna be an off season. McDaniel's safe, but if we miss the playoffs, that's gonna be an off season to watch. It's just gonna be me this week. Donovan is out of town for Christmas, and it's just gonna be me. And I have stuff I want to talk about. I'm not sure how exactly I want to go about it. I want to talk about McDaniel a little bit. Maybe I'll do Donovan usually on Wednesdays or Tuesdays or Wednesdays does his stream film breakdown. Not usually my thing, but we'll see. Maybe I do it. Maybe look out for that. And we'll talk about McDaniel. Five things we learned about Dolphins versus Packers. That I'm gonna, come out with that tomorrow. But there's just it's pain. It's nothing but pain right now, and I'm sorry. I understand a lot of fans probably still believe in Tua. Saw a lot of arguments in Dolphins fan page comment sections, calling people fair weather fans. People calling people delusional. I don't think Tua is the guy. He's talented. He's accurate. Sometimes he's a winner, whatever that means. But there's certain things that you just can't deny that he doesn't have, and he will never have. He'll never be taller. He'll never be athletic like Justin Herbert, like Lamar Jackson. He'll never have a cannon of an arm like Joe Burrow. Well, not really Joe Burrow. Like Josh Allen, like Patrick Mahomes, like Herbert. And that's just who he is. That's who he's always going to be. And I think we're better off as a team accepting that and finding out who the next quarterback is going to be.